All right, and here we are for Husky Huddle. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me, as always, he made it in time. Coach Schumann, he's ready to go after an interesting debate about.
I want you to ask Joe what he thinks on that debate we're having.
Yeah,
We
I'll
started
ask him.
diving into and we cut it off, but
That was the most ridiculous debate I've ever heard.
it was a great debate.
No, it was not. Joe, we have
All right,
the
Joe, hold on.
legendary
What do
voice
you
of the
think?
Wait, I
Huskies,
haven't even been introduced yet, Schumann. Hold on.
Introduce him.
the icon himself, the legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia. Joe. Now
Joe.
you can ask
Good
him.
morning, boys. Now, what's this debate about?
Okay, all right. So I'm curious your thoughts. So we had a guest on. She plays actually basketball for Michigan, and
Michigan.
Michigan. We were just talking to her about her journey. So
I watched the show. It was great. It was a great show.
It was a good show. She went from Bucknell to Michigan. She's from the area that we live in. But anyway, the debate ended up being later, just being the host, we're talking, and what sport / position is the most stressful to execute of anything? So I'll give you a good example. The first initial debate went kicking a field goal, okay, in a most important time, right?
At the end of the game, yep.
End of a game, obviously, when you get deep into the playoffs. The other one we brought up was gymnastics. Gymnastics.
You brought up Carrie Strug.
Carrie Strug, like what made her such a hero is that she executed which is always the most stressful thing. It's dangerous. It's a high speed, and you're out there by yourself. So and then we started going down to, but we started asking a bunch of different things. We're down to like, is downhill skiing really, it's dangerous.
You wanted to make a clip out of it.
We started getting, we're curious what people. I'm curious if you have any thoughts as to what you think is the most
72nd hole of a major golf tournament, sinking a putt to win.
There you go.
Got that. That takes the cake.
That's up there.
Masters,
I wouldn't say. Yeah, I would say it's one of them. I'd say
it's one of
them. There's a lot. Look, and
that's
we get
great
into the meat
there.
of the matter here. We've seen in recent days in the NFL and in bowl games, they think these field goals are sure things. Man, let me tell you what, they're not.
They're not.
They're
just saw it last night.
Especially in college. I mean, the poor kid from the Ravens. The poor kids from the Ravens going to have to wear that until he kicks a game-winning field goal in a clutch. I don't mean in a mid-December, mid-October game against the Browns. I mean in the same situation as last night. But he's going to wear that for a while.
Yeah, the 44-yard field goal.
When they showed the looks on Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson's faces. Oh, doggy. But anyway, so here we are. It's a new year. We're down to a Final Four, a great Final Four in the college football playoffs. All the blue bloods are kaput, gone. See you, Georgia. See you, fraudulent Alabama. I love the Final Four in college football.
Tech, yep.
I hope my Giants hire Kevin Stefanski as head coach. And we've got 24 UConn kids at least in the portal.
Yes, we do. And we got the staff is filled. And Joe, just as you predicted, UConn went after the Power Four coaches that were position coaches and brought them in as coordinators. We have Dave's buddy, Nunzio.
Is it Nunzio or Nunzio? I like Nunzio.
We can go Nunzio.
Is it? Okay. He'd be more of a Guido Paisat if it was Nunzio.
Yeah. You couldn't get more of an Italian name than Nunzio Campanelli.
Family. His brother is the DC for Jacksonville.
Oh, wow.
If you remember when we were originally talking, about the debate for UConn coaches. I brought his name up because his name was brought up by a couple of people, but he's the DC for Jacksonville. His other brother is the head coach of Bergen Catholic.
You brought up the Jacksonville guy. I remember.
Yeah, his other brother's the head coach of Bergen Catholic. He's my age. He played at UMass when I was at UConn. He was a quarterback for them. And then his other brother is the head coach of DePaul Catholic.
Oh, wow.
So, yes.
So it's a football family.
You said that
his
Nunzio
father was originally a head coach when they were young at a Catholic school in New Jersey. So
you said that he's called plays before, though, right?
Well, he was the interim head coach of Rutgers.
At Rutgers, yeah.
When who's there? Ash. When Coach Ash was the
Chris
head
Ash got fired. Yeah,
Chris Ash. So when Chris Ash he was on his staff. When Chris Ash got fired, he was the interim coach. Then when Schiano took over, he retained him.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yes, he retained him. And then I don't remember because Schiano let go a bunch of those North Jersey. He kept a bunch of those North Jersey parochial guys, had them with him.
Yeah.
He then let all of them go.
Yeah, he spent 5 years at Rutgers, it says.
Okay. I don't know if they all took jobs but they basically were kind of he was moving on from them.
Right.
And then they all went different places. So Nunzio went to Syracuse with Fran Brown.
Right.
So
right. Fran Brown.
Fran Brown.
So he's been there 2 years.
Like one of the other guys went to Columbia for a while. Then now he's back at St. Joe's. He won the state championships here in New Jersey. St. Joe's Regional, they won the states. So Nunzio brings.
That's a good hire.
He brings not just obviously. I think he'll do a good job from a play calling standpoint, but what he's going to bring is a recruiting
presence in New Jersey.
Yes, especially with the big parochials, who have a lot of all those guys know each other, and they have all players all over the place, not just in high school, but all over the place in college, right? Because that's obviously a thing. So somebody wants to move up, move on, they have those relationships. So I think that's what he brings. That's the long and short of it, at least from his standpoint.
And then
what do we know about Manilac? Anything?
That's what I was going to say. So that's how you say it, Manilac? Okay,
yeah,
Ryan Manilac.
He played in the NFL. I know that.
Yeah, he came
briefly
from Pitt.
Okay,
right. He was with Narduzzi at Cincy, Michigan State, and Pitt. So he's obviously got good heritage there.
Yeah, so I think Joe nailed it. That's exactly what we needed, to get some of these Power 4 coaches in that were position coaches. I think they'll do well as coordinators for us. And it's a good step.
He was a linebacker.
Yeah.
So
and
stop the run.
And you were right, Shu. You had it right, exactly. You had it nailed on Coach Wiener coming to be the assistant head coach.
Yeah.
Obviously has a lot of cachet, great recruiter in the state of Florida, which would be awesome to get UConn back into that area. And the special coordinator was at Pat Cashmore was at Washington State. Look, we don't know much. We know about Campanile because of Shu's connection with him. We know about Wiener because of his reputation. We don't know a hell of a lot about the other coaches, but you have to trust Jason Candle in knowing what he's doing because he put together a pretty good staff. And I was happy to see some of the UConn guys instantly get jobs. I know we're like my guy Kashif Moore following Moore out to Colorado State and Price Tracy going out there. It's in a perfect world, you'd like to see guys stay, but that's not the way it's done. Coaches want to bring their own. Coaches want to bring in their own comfort food and guys who they're familiar with. And I think also, too, because of the unique situation of UConn being an independent for now, they want to bring guys who they feel can work under that framework. especially when recruiting. I mean, that's important.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. There's so much that's undetermined. If we're going to get into a conference, if we're not going to be in a conference,
we're not getting in the conference next year. I would make a large bet on that.
I don't think so either. I think
unless we get in the AFC South,
the closest year would probably be 2030. When we're done with, when we're not.
Where you guys will have a good time talking about that because I'll be pushing daisies.
Let me ask you this, Joe, because I got yelled at by our friend Mark Zanato. I did Husky hoops by myself, and I was talking about the Big East.
I saw the clip.
You had a couple of great clips.
The Big East being a detriment to UConn, and Mark told me that I was acting stupid and that we were going to get 5 teams in the tournament. Because I said we were going to get. I said we got 3. I think we got 3 in last year. We were lucky to get that. And I said we got 1 on the women's side. I said it hurts us. It hurts us being in the conference.
Well, but see, Steve, I understand your point, but I understand Crazy Mark's point too, in that we're in the Big East and it hasn't hurt us because we're drawing great players and we're being successful. So it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now the area it could hurt.
I'm just saying financially.
Well, yeah, but there's nothing you can do about that. I'm just talking from a basketball standpoint. Maybe with all due respect to Mark, they're not getting 5 teams in the NCAA.
No, I was looking at it. I was looking
at the records. Unless they expand
to
96 teams before March. They're not getting 5 teams in. The problem is, like you had Marquette yesterday, which is having a brutal year. That's a quad 4 game. That's not going to help your net rating. Okay.
No.
And that's the problem. St. John's, the godfather of basketball's team, can't guard a
9-5.
Can't guard a lick. Hideously underachievers. If Zuby Ejiofor ever gets hurt, they'll turn into a sub 500 team. So I understand what you were saying from a financial standpoint, but I think in reality it doesn't hurt that much our 2 programs because they're solid as a rock.
Sure. I agree.
And they're going to be able to recruit players with those 2 head coaches and staffs for as long as they're around. So I think
agree.
Some of what you say and some of what Mark say and mash it together and grind it up.
But I just wanted you to say we weren't going to get 5 teams in the tournament.
I would be very surprised if we do.
I mean, I know he thinks Seton Hall, obviously, and St. John's, he thinks is going to get in.
And here's the thing about that, boys. It's January the 5th. All right.
Yeah, we're in
2 months away. We've barely sniffed the surface on conference schedules. You don't know what's going to happen. I would be adverse to sounding off as to how many teams they're going to get right now because you just don't. Because you just don't know. Right?
No,
you just don't know.
I just didn't think we would get 5 because I was looking at the top 25, the rankings, and it's mostly ACC, Big 12, Big 10. It's all Power 4 conferences besides Gonzaga and us, I believe.
Well, you know what? This is kind of funny. I mean, I as you know, I hate to agree with Zanetto, but Joe Lenardi has 5 Big East teams getting in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Who's he?
And again, these are he's got Butler playing Oklahoma in a play-in game.
Horrible.
He's got UConn as a 1 in the East.
Yep.
He's got. I'm trying to see. He's got St. John's as a 7 in the East.
Sucks.
So they're 9-5.
Isn't playing well now.
What's the
He's
problem?
got Seton Hall as a 9 in the South.
Hall's pretty good.
And then he's got
Villanova.
Who's his other team?
Villanova's the other one that's good. Yeah.
He's got Villanova as a 7 in the middle. So maybe, you know what? Maybe, I mean, Mark follows.
Teams are good. UConn is obviously great. Villanova is good, and Seton Hall is very good. That's it. St. John's,
unless they don't put it together.
I don't know. Maybe St. John's can get it together because they got so much money in their guys. But I think
how about he was going to bring a player in at midseason? He was going to either bring in a JUCO or a G League. I'll tell you what, this G League bullshit is going to be the end of college basketball.
Didn't you shoot it down though? Isn't it for now shot down?
Well, he decided not to.
The Baylor is bringing somebody in.
No, Baylor's NCAA said you couldn't.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought the president of the NCAA came out with a statement that they were not going to allow it.
If you haven't played in an NBA game or signed a contract or anything or enrolled in college, that's why the Baylor got to bring the kid in.
Well, eventually what's going to happen is they're going to sue. And then what's going to happen? Like everything goes back to this whole thing.
Yeah, they sue and they win.
Once you pay players, once you've actually done that, which we do now, once you've paid players, it's going to be very hard to ever win legislation that denies somebody to be paid.
No, because precedent has been set.
There's no more amateurism. They're going to say there's no more amateurism. That's all they're going to say. There's no more amateurism. And this is a pro league like any other pro league, and they're going to win. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's what's going to happen over and over again, unless Congress, which has a lot more to worry about right now.
Well, they were going to pass the SCORE Act, but that fell through. Joe, who did you see in the transfer portal? Because I was just curious. I didn't see.
Well, this is from Roger Cleveland's story in the First Connecticut media. 16 players on offense. All right, Cam Edwards, Mel Brown, your boy Victor Rosa, and MJ Flowers, Ben Borowski, Karsten Cassidy, Brady Wayburn, and Torian Johnson, Jackson Harper, Shamar Porter, Maya Johnson, and John Neidert, Tucker McDonald and Nick Evers, Juice Vereen, and Alex Honig. And on the defensive side, you got Omar Diamande, Lee Millette III, Vincent Carroll Jackson, Stephen Wright, or Stephon Wright, Cam Chadwick, Chris Hudson, Osiris Gilbert, and Kaluba Pee-wee.
Wow.
So Pee-wee's Playhouse is leaving.
I hope that Candle can retain some of them, but the portal is only 15 days. So, Dave, we talked about this. If the kids entered the portal, they must have an agreement in place before. Like, they wouldn't just blindly enter.
Not necessarily.
You think they would blindly enter?
I think if they did well, like, for example, Cam Edwards did really well. He's going to find
but he's a running back. Running backs are a dime a dozen. That's what I'm saying.
Somewhere.
He'll end up somewhere, Steve. Yeah, if somebody who knows,
all the starters will land somewhere.
Who knows if Vince Lombardi doesn't want him up in Colorado State?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. He would take him.
He might.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
He did play in the bowl game, and he did say that he would
Colorado State, right? Or
yes, yeah, that's what I had heard.
He got a nice bag, from what I understand.
Well, I would think receivers might go there to play for Kashif. You know, I think.
Yep, Shamar Porter. Yep.
Yeah, I think there's familiarity with all that, but you know, who knows? I mean, it's such a wild. Here's my thought, boys. Let it play out, and then when it does, we'll look at it. Because you don't know who Coach Candle's bringing in for UConn. He's already got one or two kids from Toledo to commit. So, you know, he's gotten just put it this way, the whole thing is interesting. It's very
It is. I just hope, you know, we have a quarterback. I like Hassan Farrar. I think he can play. I just think he needs more reps. Tucker McDonald.
Now that he's bulked up to 215 pounds.
I said he was 170. Yeah. Fact check. But
what does he weigh, by the way?
215 according to the website.
He weighs 215.
That's why I said he looked small. When I saw him in person,
how tall is he? How tall is he?
6'3".
6'3".
He said maybe because he's 6'3", so you can look skinny.
He's long and lanky.
You can look skinny and be 210 pounds. You know what I mean? At 6'3".
No, I agree.
He said he was 6'1". If you said he was 6'1", I would say there's no way in hell he's 200.
Right, I agree.
But he's 6'3". That's different.
I'd like to see the McDonald kid come back just to see him. Get a shot. But again, there's a hotshot freshman coming in, and I'm sure they're going to bring in at least one more. They will. One more player. So
they have to bring in a transfer quarterback, unless they're going to go with Farrar, which I think he's a year away from being ready. I don't think he's ready right now. But kids don't want to wait. That's the problem.
Well, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, it's the biggest problem. They don't want to wait, so they leave. I'm just surprised the lineman left. Because there wasn't a reason to. I think they have 1 year left. Evers, again, I mean, thank you for leaving, but he's the one who really kind of screwed us over. No, he took. No, thank you.
It's the way you said it. I thought was funny.
We get the $150,000 back from him.
Yes, right.
But I mean, we paid him. We got nothing out of it. He took all the reps with the first group practicing for the bowl game, and then he bolts the week before, the Thursday before the bowl game. He sends a message, I'm going into the transfer portal. That's what I didn't like. If you were going to go, just go. Why take the reps away from Farrar and make us look worse than we already were going to look? Because that game was just bad for our brand and embarrassing.
See, Steve, I agree with you. I agree with you to a point. And I think 5 years ago, that might have been the case. But I think now, with especially with a coaching change and understanding how things work now, I don't think from a brand, because the North Carolina tanking didn't ruin their brand. They got Bill Belichick and his hottie 24-year-old girlfriend, right? And all the disaster that's gone with that. So
Tom Brady's working on it right now, a 20-year-old.
What's that?
Tom Brady's working on it. Working on a.
That Alex. That my
Alex
goodness.
Earl.
Oh, God bless him. He doesn't. He's not. He's never gone into the. He's never drafted Ms. Irrelevant. He's always drafted first-round picks, whether it was Giselle Bundchen or Bridget Monahan, and now this Alex Earl.
That's right.
Oh my God! But anyway, so Stevie, I understand what you're saying, and you're frustrated as an alumnus, but I don't think overall it ruins it hurts the brand because people understand what goes on now.
No, you're right, and it's basically the way it is now. You're getting a new team every year. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's a new team year to year. You're getting 30 to 40 to 50 transfers.
You heard what the Texas Tech booster said, right? They
the guy that spent $70 million on that team. Yeah.
He said they lost. He said, well, I guess he's like, we'll be fine. He's like, I just got to spend some more next year.
That's it, right? That's it.
Well, I
thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? At least that guy doesn't try to make believe that. That's what I like about Texas. He's honest. People in Texas, they don't try to make believe that it's like anything other than what it was.
I read an article.
SMU was so far ahead of the curve back in the day.
With
the Pony Express, you bet.
Oh, so far ahead of the curve. So far ahead.
With Eric Dickerson driving around the car. Yeah, I remember that.
Right. Craig James.
There was an article in The Athletic talking about, the salary cap for the athletic departments have been $20 million. But they have been spending more than that because nobody's regulating it. Nobody's checking it. So instead of, the cap being $20 million, they're spending $30-40 million for the athletic department because they feel who's going to discipline us,
right?
Who's going to check?
Right. That's a great point, Cully.
I was shocked to read that. I was like, holy crap. Like that. So they're spending that just with the athletic department. They're taking it away from like student fees. And then on top of that, you have NIL money.
Right.
So they're getting paid a fortune.
Didn't someone get like $6 million? Was it the Ole Miss quarterback?
Trinidad Chambliss?
That's $6 million.
Chambliss?
Yeah. He did. The Duke quarterback got $4 million over 2 years. They were paying the Tennessee quarterback who ended up quitting last year. He was getting paid in high school as a high school senior.
Right, but I'm saying, did Chambliss just get $6 million? I think it's Chambliss, right? Is
Trinidad Chambliss, yeah, from Ole Miss. Right. Yes. He was a Ferris State transfer.
I got paid in high school. I did. Fathers paid me not to go near their daughters.
And me too, Joe.
Hey, look, it's a wild west though.
I know.
And isn't it funny? This struck me as stupidly ironic that it would be John Calipari, the guy who made Marcus Camby a millionaire, who would be the one who would say, if guys want to transfer once, you get it for free. If you want to transfer a second time, you got to sit out a year. Who knew it would be Cal?
He's right. He was pissed.
He's right. Well, he's right. He's right. We've got quarterbacks we've got people in the semifinals who are on their fourth school.
And
Chambliss would be his 6th year, so he's going to get a 6th year because he's claiming that he stands to lose $5 million, which he's right. They offered him $6 million.
because he played at Ferris State, and Ferris State limited his financial opportunities. That's how these kids are getting the extra years. They're saying they're not maximizing their value.
Well, that's got to end.
I agree. That's crazy.
You get 5 years to play 4 years, and that's it.
How do they police that? That's my.
They're now allowing 5 years.
What's to stop the Big Ten and SEC? Just those two, because obviously the Big Ten is obviously the most dominant, but they're by far the most two dominant conferences. What's to stop them from just saying, I'm not going back and forth with this. We can't do this. We can't do that. We're gonna
there's no one that can police them. That's what they're saying.
Do our own thing. Who's going to stop them?
That's what they're saying. Exactly that.
Unless Charlie Baker and the NCAA step up, and they won't.
And they won't because they lose in court. They've said that. And they are doing what they want.
That's what I wonder. Like, what law, like, what could they go to court and actually win? Like, because I guess, this comes down to like labor.
They would have to penalize them. Okay, you spent over $20 million, which was the salary cap. So your head coach is fined or your athletic department is fined.
The whole Big Ten will just go. And the SEC will just go, okay, well, you don't like us spending more? Great. Now our conference, our overseeing group is called the SEC/Big Ten, and that's the overseeing group, and we're not part of the NCAA.
Right. Yeah, they could do that.
Whatever we want.
If those two schools ever branched off like that, they could have a 12-game schedule, play 9 games in the league, and 3 teams from the other league. I mean, it's
it'd be great.
It would be great, except if you're in the other conferences, and it's especially going to be hard. It's especially going to be hard for UConn as an independent.
For us to get games.
It's never going to be hard for Notre Dame. So I'm looking on the CBS Sports website. Indiana, which is still playing, could win the national championship. Has already added the TCU quarterback Josh Hoover.
I read that.
In the transfer portal.
He's going to take
over
for Mendoza.
Michigan State. They got the BC leading rusher, Turbo Richard.
Turbo went there.
Indiana. I guess Oklahoma State, Penn State, Wisconsin, Texas Tech, which throws money around like shoe at a strip club.
That's a pretty good statement right there.
That's the line of the fucking year right there.
Great statement. I'm just thinking back to the good old days.
Don't get me. We could do an off.
I just thought to myself. I just had the vision of what it used to look like in my head.
Joe's right.
I can't smile on the show because just in case my wife watched it, but in my head I could smile.
The TCU quarterback is supposed to replace Mendoza.
You're not alone, Shu. I got road trip stories I could tell you.
Sometimes as you get older, right? Sometimes you just gotta smile to yourself in your own head. It's almost as good as smiling in front of everybody else.
I know they got kicked on the field by Miami, but that was an amazing road trip.
Joe, that's what I was going to ask you. What were your thoughts on the playoffs so far?
Well, I love it. I love
Tulane and James Madison, obviously.
I love the fact that, who knew?
Miami's a great place, Joe.
Oklahoma turned out to be a fraud, losing to Alabama like that. And then Alabama turned out to be a fraud, getting clobbered by Indiana. Everybody was wondering, well, what's Indiana going to do? Well, all Indiana did was kick the crap out of
and I loved Indiana it. I thought
favored. It's been, I thought the Miami after they won, beat Texas Tech, from Miami or beat Texas A&M to win their game the way they did. I like I said, boys, I love the Final Four. I don't have any problems with these four teams playing for the
What do you think about the argument that people are making that having a bye is hurting them? It's too much.
Well, Indiana was the only team with a bye in 2 years to have won. Yeah. And they played an inferior Alabama team. Who's, by the way, Pete Carroll just got fired. I do not want him for the New York Football Giants. Okay.
Pete Carroll just got fired? Wow.
Pete Carroll. That was sort of expected. Yeah,
they were awful.
Steve, give me that question again.
No, I read a bunch of articles about it that the time off for the teams that have byes
it doesn't help.
Been hurting them.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't think it helps at all.
They should change the format around.
Well, all you can do is add 4 more teams and play 16, and then everybody plays the same amount. Everybody plays the same amount of games. If you don't have an even number of team, then you're always going to have teams with byes. And I guess the big issue is, how do you approach the bye week? Do you play it? Do you go in pads? Do you go in shells? What do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously didn't hurt Indiana, and they supposedly went in pads all the time. They supposedly were balls to the wall. So
no, but I mean, Ohio State, just the way that they lost was shocking. I mean,
to Miami. I mean,
I love Miami. I thought Miami was going to win. I picked them to win, but I did not think that. Like I wanted Miami to win. I did not believe I picked them to win.
I did too. I didn't think they were going to win either.
I didn't think they were going to win. So that was shocking. Dave, did you think Miami was going to beat Ohio State?
I thought there would be a chance because Miami, I've watched a couple of Miami's games.
Yeah.
They're very, very athletic. They have a very good offensive and defensive line.
Yes, up front.
And they got a quarterback that
he's been iffy though.
Yeah, but he's been in big games. He's been iffy in a lot of things.
That is true.
And not that he can't make mistakes in big games, but he knows what it feels like to play in those games. So Carson Beck is going to be who he is. He's not going to be affected by the moment. Does he make mistakes? I don't think he's a perfect quarterback, but I don't think that he's affected. Where some of these guys do get affected by that when it's their first time.
No, they do. They do.
30-year-old quarterbacks are less affected, I think. You know what I mean?
You know what's the good thing about this?
You have a wife and kids. You got a lot of other stresses you got to go through. So playing in the game,
you got a lot on your plate. Yeah.
It's not as
The
big a
good
deal.
thing
when you have
about
Lane.
this Final Four is I don't think we have to worry about the quarterbacks. I think Oregon at Moore, back at Miami, Mendoza at Indiana, and Chambliss at Ole Miss. I think we got 4 really good quarterbacks who've gotten their team to this point.
Now, Joe, what do you think about they were saying that Lane Kiffin may not let the coaches stay for the next game. They were unsure if they were going to be there or not. And the Ole Miss
make
coach,
up his mind pretty quick. It's Thursday.
Yeah, the Ole Miss coach said basically like we have enough coaches to take over and we'd be fine.
Well,
but like
Charlie
Weiss
would be Charlie Weiss.
The issue. Yeah, Charlie Weiss.
I think Charlie Weiss would be the one that they would miss more than anybody, because obviously he's got a pretty simpatico relationship with Chambliss. But hey, you know what? Here's the thing about Kiffin. He's got to stick his nose in every situation. How about the fact? I think this is BS. Let me know what you boys think. I think it's bullshit that LSU has to pay him bonuses for Ole Miss's
for
playoff.
every game they win.
I think that's unbelievable.
That blew my mind.
His agent has to be.
That blew my mind when I heard that.
What's his name? The guy who represents all of them.
Jimmy Sexton.
Jimmy Sexton.
Yeah, it has to be Sexton.
It was Jimmy Sexton, yeah.
It has to be. Because Sexton, the only way you can negotiate that is if you have all of the top coaches, because they don't want to not give it to Lane, because they're going to be going to Jimmy down the line for the next coach if Lane leaves or fails or whatever, right? So they're going to want that, like, there's kind of like, and it's actually a small amount of money, even though I agree it's kind of crazy, but it's a small amount of money relative to all the money they're spending now.
Yeah,
it's actually like it's
$150,000.
It's a pittance. But it's just the
but it's ridiculous that he gets paid for their wins.
Yeah, no problem. You guys win, great. Who cares? Like, here's $300,000.
Maybe that's why he sent his coaches
makes you come here. If that makes you come here because you want the wins, even though you didn't win it yourself, yeah, here you go. So you
know what? If I were him, I'd want my coaches to be there to be sure me getting that more money.
Yeah, that's
I would leave them there. 100%.
That's why he sent them there.
Yeah,
that's why he sent them there.
Right.
But I see now the one thing
that's a couple extra votes for him.
I don't believe that the Ole Miss kids are going to go to LSU because they seem angry about Kiffin leaving. So I don't think that they'll follow him there.
Depends.
Yeah, it depends how much is in the bag.
And
you really think so?
And who it is and what his situation is. Like if you're
all the comments have been
good running
negative.
back, but you're the backup, and Lane thinks that you could be the starter over here, and you're going to be the backup over there. It really depends. It really.
So
depends.
You still think some Ole Miss kids could end up going to LSU?
Absolutely.
Like what? Okay. I'm just curious. Like Texas Tech has so much money, although I think they did just got a quarterback, so maybe it's irrelevant. But I just thought
the articles that I've read about the transfers, it's crazy.
I wonder if they just said, oh, okay, Chambliss, you're gonna get Ole Miss is gonna give you 6. You know what? Like, we'll just give you 10.
The average they can salary.
It's crazy.
Yeah. The average
I'm
salary.
just gonna shut everybody up, and the noise about like Chambliss is the best guy coming back or whatever. And instead of us having to go and Chambliss, would you be happy with 10? Would you be happy with 12 for next year? I mean, I could see somebody doing that. And even if he wanted to stay at Ole Miss, like if they couldn't do it, right, he's going to go.
The average salary for a Power 4 quarterback is between $4 and $6 million.
It's incredible.
Great.
That's what I'm saying. It is incredible. That's great. That's like
when my son gets home today, his ass is out there throwing again.
Yeah, yeah. Get him out there throwing.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank goodness I already started him down that path years ago, but now I'm like,
you'd be derelict in your duties as a parent, Shu, if you didn't.
You know what's incredible? this is how this stuff has shaped people's thinking. Okay. My wife already thinks to herself, okay, because her father went on scholarship, University of Tennessee, as a basketball player. Had to get married and left, but that's where he went. And I played, at UConn. So she's already like, you know what? He doesn't even have to make the NFL.
NIL.
No, yeah,
or the
you have
NFL,
to make the NFL. If he's actually good enough to play at a Division I school, he could set up his life for a great jump start for his life. And this is how moms think, right? This is amazing because this is how all moms think. I think because she talks to everybody. So, she's like, one day places like Princeton and Harvard are gonna, because I just saw an article about it the other day. One day Princeton and Harvard are going to give $1 million, not necessarily to compete at the highest level, okay, but to make sure they have the right good players on their own team, right? Because who has more money? So I saw an article yesterday.
This was the first year they were allowed in the playoffs.
I saw a podcast about it, okay, where a guy was like, I heard that the Ivy League may eventually go D3 because of this. And then an article came out. Another guy had a podcast and said, no, it's the other way. Yeah. It's the opposite of what you're thinking.
They're going to go up.
What they're going to do is they're going to slowly dip their hands in it. And they already have. So the word was, obviously Ivy Leagues don't give scholarships, right? Quote unquote. So the word
they give financial aid packages. Yeah.
Right. So I was told years ago, before NIL came about, that because their endowment, I had coaches that told me at the Ivy League, because I was a high school coach, that said, if your guy is that good and is a good enough student for us to get him in, if he's that good, he won't have to pay anything. So meaning the endowment already was able to give scholarship money for those athletes. So they're already doing that before NIL. Now what has happened?
That's not exactly true.
That is true.
No, I coached there. It's not true. It's not true.
I talked to the head coach at these schools.
We could get the kids in, but the financial aid package was completely different. It was based on,
and then the endowment they will give the money to cover everything for the rest for the players that they want.
If the family had to earn under a certain amount, if they earned under 100,000,
this is separate. So
plus, here's the other thing.
If you give a scholarship, so for example, you can't give an athletic scholarship at the Ivy League.
I know that. Yes, right. I coached in the Ivy League.
The endowment can fund a scholarship academically that they could call it anything for any student, and that money could go to that person. It could be the Steve Cully endowment scholarship for kids that get X. Okay. And that money would go to that student. That's different than the financial aid package. So it could be
here's the other thing.
The top scientists get it at Princeton.
Well, and at an Ivy League school, if you go to let's say you go to Yale, and let's say Dave Schumann is the head of Schumann Enterprises, which makes $85 million a year.
Oh.
Hey, I can give you a job when you get out if you come to my school and pay you X amount of money.
Correct.
I mean,
that's exactly what they used to do.
And that's the old Bosworth. That's the old Bosworth. Sit by the what do they call it? The drill, the oil drill, and just make sure no one steals the oil drill. That's how he got his money in college, right? His job in the summer, and they paid him I think it was like $50K or $60K.
Well, when I was
watched the oil drill, and he said he sat in his truck, he went and got lunch, he came back, nothing happened to the oil drill.
Look, as long as there's no czar, these teams can skirt the salary cap issue, like Steve said.
Yes.
In any way. So it's a nice conversation, but nothing's gonna change about it. Nothing.
But Dave's right. I mean, the Ivy League could take over if they wanted because they have the money.
They were an FCS. They could take over FCS, right?
Yes,
But if they,
yes.
but college basketball, the reason why they won't completely take over, because you're going to get the stuffies from the Ivy League, the guys who graduated that are, we don't want to allow guys that don't have at least XYZ GPA. So it's going to, for at least for now, only be that was why they went away. I was just doing this whole series of all the top videos and all the top college programs throughout time. And I started 1870. Okay. And I'm up to 1913. All right. I've done 43 years of it. Okay. Of videos on it. And the overwhelmingly dominant programs from that first time period.
Yeah, it was all the Ivy League.
It's all Ivies. And not until like Amos Alonzo Stagg and the guy who was the Michigan coach and the Carlisle Indians with Pop Warner, those guys broke through in the 1900s. Until they broke through, it was all Ivy. And
dude, Harvard and Yale used to draw in that stadium 50, 60,000 people.
That's why they still have those stadiums.
That's why those stadiums are massive. Yeah. It was huge. And still to this day, Harvard Yale is one of the top rivalries in college football.
Yep.
But yeah, if they wanted to take over FCS, they have the money to do so.
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg,
they could blow everyone out of the water.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg went to Harvard. Bill Gates went to Harvard. I mean, I'm sure there's an insane amount of billionaires that went to these schools.
That's what I'm saying. They could blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what, like Allison, who's given money to, he went to Illinois. He's the owner of Oracle and is going to be taking over TikTok as part of the whole.
He gave the money to Michigan. You said
he gave the money to Michigan for Bryce Underwood, basically, and because his new wife is from Michigan, and so I just wonder, like, a competitive guy like that who runs those sailing, like he funded the whole, what is it called, this America's Cup.
Cup.
When America was nowhere near the best, we were always like crappy. Not that I follow it, but I just remember watching. Maybe it was a 60 Minutes on it or whatever.
Well, we dominated for a long time, and then Australia got smart, and then they dominated Australia and New Zealand. But when the America's Cup first started, it was basically every American ship.
Right. And that what Joe said is 100% right. And all those other countries started to dominate, in particular Australia. And then what Ellison did was, because he was interested in sailing, he funded, like, I guess these teams in the United States to make them the best. And I don't know if they still are, but for a long time he had resurged the United States to being the best. I don't know if they still are, but I want to say he put in, I mean, some insane amount of money. I'm talking like maybe hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
He turns around and just says, I got $1 billion to spare. I'm dying in 5 years. And
that's why I wish someone at UConn could do that. I wish someone married into UConn said,
"Hey, the guy that used to run GE Capital from UConn."
Who's that?
Dennis. Joe would know better than me. He was a board of trustee for million. It might be still. I want to say Dennis Nader or Naden.
Yes, Naden, I think.
He's a billionaire. He's
got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, Mark D'Amelio's got a lot of crap.
Yes.
No, Mark does.
He has as much money as Dennis Naden. No, but
no, I don't either. I don't either. Right.
Because he got it from GE Cap, which was back in the Welch days of everything.
Let me interrupt you for the America's Cup thing, because when I was working on the shoreline, we always loved the America's Cup. They won it from 1871 to 1980, and then I remember this in 1983 when they lost it. It was like the world had come to an end for those people. When Australia won for the first time, Alan Bond beat the New York Yacht Club in Liberty 4-3. It was the best of 7. it was like that was the worst. And then they've pretty much gone back and forth. The USA owns the cup now. Oh no, New Zealand owns the cup.
Okay.
Wow. So, all right, there's your America's Cup lesson for the
Was
day.
there like
Let's
a
get back to
resurgence? Was there a time when they fell off and then they resurged? If you're looking at it, I'm just curious because I'm trying to think of when Ellison did it. I can't remember. I want to say the 2000s he maybe came in and started funding it.
Well, they went back and yeah, they won a few years. They won in what was called the dog match. I have no idea what that means. 2010
Okay.
Oracle Team USA.
Yeah, there you go. Right, there you go.
They beat I think they beat Allegheny. I think they beat Italy. No, they beat Switzerland. And then they won the next year, and then the next time, and then they lost off Bermuda in 2017. So more
Joe,
America's Cup than you want to know.
I find all those things interesting.
I've always found it interesting.
Yes.
Because you know why? Because it's above it's above where I could ever be. Right? Worried about who's sailing my yacht, guys falling off the boat, you know.
Joe, I wanted to ask you because you do hockey.
Yes.
Are there a good amount of hockey players that receive NIL money or money from
I don't
the
think
school?
hardly any at all.
Oh, really?
Really? Hardly any at all.
I don't think that. See, that's the.
How about Maine, Michigan?
Because that's what I wondered.
Well, maybe at the bigger. I just don't think it happens in our. No, I might be wrong.
Right.
Right. But it's not something.
There are schools. Yes, there are the schools, the Power 4 schools that play hockey.
I know Michigan does, and other schools.
Minnesota, Michigan State.
Yes,
but I'm not sure there's any Big East. There's any Hockey East money that's considerable.
Because we're in a different conference, right? It's called something different than the.
Yes, it is. It's called Hockey East.
Hockey East, that's right.
And it's one of the best. It's one of the.
Yes.
It's at the top of college hockey.
Because they play like Union, I know, right? Don't they play Union? No. Oh.
Is Maine in that conference?
Here's the Hockey East schools. Write them down because they'll be a touch later. Boston College.
Right.
Boston University.
BU.
The University of Connecticut. The University of Maine. The University of Massachusetts. The University of Massachusetts at Lowell. The University of New Hampshire. Northeastern University. Providence College. The University of Vermont. 11 schools.
Oh, okay. But have we played Union before?
The old Yankee.
Oh, non-conference. Yeah, Union's an ECAC.
Okay.
Quinnipiac and Harvard and Yale and all those.
Because I recall seeing us play Union. That's why I asked.
Did you see, by the way, in basketball, the confrontation with Quinnipiac and Manhattan?
Tom Pecora wanted to kill John Gallagher.
Yes. That was wild.
Are you serious?
Not pretty.
Oh, yeah, you got to see it.
And check out Pecora's post-game comments.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't watch that at all because he thought
Gallagher, who I know pretty well and who I like, can push the envelope a little bit.
Okay.
And I think he said, from what Pecora said, it sounds like Gallagher was talking to some of his players, and it's not. Go to YouTube and find it.
I'm gonna find it.
Manhattan Quinnipiac. And then Google Tom Pecora press conference.
So, Joe, as we go through the Final Four, who do you like in these matchups?
Well, Steve, I was just going to get to that, and then our NFL predictions. Miami is a 3.5-point favorite over the Rebs of Ole Miss.
Yes.
I like the Ole Miss interim coach story.
Yep.
So I'm going to go Ole Miss and take the points.
Okay.
All right. So I get 3.5. And then in the other game, Oregon and Indiana. Look, Cignetti, I don't want him to go away ever.
I think it's Indiana's year. Yeah.
I got an Indiana Ole Miss national championship game. What do you got, Cully?
What was the line for Indiana?
Indiana's 4.5-point favorite over the Ducks.
I got Indiana, and I got the Cinderella story coming to an end. I picked Miami. I'm on the Miami train, even though I don't like Carson Beck.
I think I'm on board with Indiana, even though I love the Oregon coach. But
I know, but Cignetti,
yeah, he's good.
Come on,
he's good.
Cignetti
That's the game I actually would have liked to see. If I would have say my perfect world would have been the championship, those two, because I think those two might be the best two coaches that are coaching in it. But I think Indiana, and then I think Ole Miss as well, and I'll tell you why. I think Miami's offense, though has tremendously explosive players, I think gets out of sync.
They do.
If they get out of sync, Ole Miss is not going to get out of. I think Ole Miss is just going to score in bunches, and I think they're going to have a very good defense. And I think even though Miami
going to have to corral Trinidad Trambless, I mean that's the biggest thing.
I don't know that Miami's defense, which did great this past week, I don't know that they would be able to stop Ole Miss in the same way. He gets rid of the ball quick and he moves very well, and I think that could be a problem for Miami. So,
we got one Miami and two Ole Misses, and then we got three Indianas.
Yeah,
I do love Michael Irvin as a Cowboys guy.
Are you kidding me?
Listen,
he's out of his
everybody
mind.
Other than a Cowboys fan like myself absolutely hates Michael Irvin going nuts on the sidelines. I love it because I appreciate that Michael Irvin is a true lunatic, and that's what just makes him great. He is a lunatic. He probably knows he's a lunatic.
He owns it.
And he owns it. He owns
it. Right.
Just like me. I own being a lunatic.
All right, let's go to the NFL predictions. Here we go. Saturday, 4:30. You knew Carolina was going to be the 4:30 Saturday game, which is they are 10-point underdogs to the LA Shams.
To LA, yeah.
What do you got, Cully?
I got LA all the way.
Shoe?
Are we going with points or just flat out?
Points.
10-point
points.
I'm going to go Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's just.
I don't know if Carolina can win, but I think they're going to cover.
Just the way they got in. Yeah, just the way they got in the playoffs.
Saturday night, frozen tundra of Chicago. The Bears are 1-point favorite over the Packers. Schumann?
Bears. I'm Bears all
Cully?
the way.
I can't take Caleb Williams. I'm going the Packers.
I got the Bears all the way.
Yeah, the Bears have had a great year.
1 o'clock Sunday. 1 o'clock Sunday. The Bills on the road. Point and a half favorites over the Jaguars. I'll go first here. I'm going to go Bills.
They're on the road?
Yeah, they're on the road at Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence.
Cully?
Buffalo all the way.
Shoot.
This is Buffalo's year.
I'm going to stay with you. Buffalo.
All right.
No Kansas City. So
all of them.
Buffalo is good.
4:30 game in Philly. The Eagles, 3.5-point favorites over the Niners. I wasted 3+ hours of my life Saturday night watching that horse shit Philadelphia San Francisco game. San Francisco Seattle game. San Francisco. They could still be playing, and San Francisco wouldn't have scored a touchdown.
Seattle's really good, I know.
All right, what do you got, Cully?
I'm going with San Fran.
And the upset.
Yeah, Brock Purdy when they're on point, they're going to be
San Fran's a fraud. Eagles
have looked like dog shit, and they get booed. They get booed by their home crowd.
I'm going to go with Cully. I think the Eagles win, but I think they win by 3 points.
Okay.
Which would get me the spread. All right. Sunday night in the house that Bob built. Speaking of massage parlors, the Patriots 3.5-point favorites over the Fighting Harbaughs. Shoe.
I'm gonna go with Harbaugh. Yeah.
Joe's got the one-liners today.
3.5.
I'm going with the massage parlor.
You're going massage parlor.
I am going to go. I am going to go.
Man.
I am going to go with Harbaugh.
Okay.
I think the Patriots have been nice, but much like I could never pick the Eagles, I can never pick the Patriots. Ever. Ever. The Patriots could be playing UConn, giving 100 points, and I'd take UConn.
Do you think Drake May MVP or no? Because that's been a lot of talk.
I think yes, I do. I think May gets the MVP, and I think Vrabel gets Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year, yeah.
You know, I mean, look, they've had a terrific season. There's no question about it. But I just think Harbaugh and Herbert and the Patriots defense is good, not great. First time in that primetime spotlight in the playoffs like that. All right, and then the game nobody wants to see. And then
the Monday night, right?
Yeah. Houston -3.5 against Pittsburgh. Look, I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. He's going to wish he was in a home after that game with the beating he's going to take by Houston. I take the Texans all the way.
I really want Pittsburgh to win, but Houston's going to win. I'm going to take Houston.
Shoe.
I'll go against the grain.
Take Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
even they found a way to beat the Ravens.
Never wins anymore in the playoffs, but
he doesn't. he loses every time.
Just to be different, that could help me win it over the top. I'd have to.
He made it last year with the two idiot quarterbacks, and they still lost with Fields and the other guy, and they lost. And I would just
Winston.
I would just like to see Aaron Rodgers get a win in the playoffs, but Houston is going to overwhelm them. And you're right. Aaron Rodgers is going to wish he was in a home afterwards.
He might be in a home afterwards.
He is going to take a beating. And I know he was talking about possibly playing another year after that game. He is not going to be playing another year. No, he has.
I've never been a big Aaron Rodgers fan, but I respect what he does, but he's a lunatic. And the fact that he associates with that moron Pat McAfee.
I know
you hate Pat McAfee. It's so
funny. I have not watched College Game Day, which used to be my favorite show.
Oh, it used to be the best.
Since he got on it.
I love it because he's
too over the top. He's too
over just like you know why, Shu? Because much like Cully, it's all about him.
He's just like my father. My father would rather shoot himself in the head than listen.
I'd rather chew nails and drink turpentine as a chaser than watch Pat McAfee.
My father's like, why does he do this? Why is he like this? I'm like, Dad,
I'll tell you why. I think there's millions of reasons why he does it. People love him. I don't.
Yeah, that's why. That's
just like I'm not a Gus Johnson fan. I think he's way too over the top. Way too.
Yeah, he is over the top.
Although I thought that call on it's interesting. I would say there's a lot of times he is. That call though that he made with Mendoza at the end of the game, I thought was one of his best calls ever.
Which game?
With Mendoza against Penn State, where he threw the touchdown.
Yes, the Big Ten champion. Oh, yeah,
that was a great off the cuff call. A lot of times, I think he is almost scripted to be over the top, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That
was off, like that came off the top of his head, and I think it took the best of what he can do, combined with him being off script, which was much better. You know,
the best broadcast of the weekend was McDonough and McElroy on Ole Miss, Georgia.
McElroy's excellent. Yes,
and McDonough's the best.
Yeah.
He should have been. I'm glad he won National Sportscaster of the Year for the first time because he's long overdue.
Don't you like Olsen? Do you like Greg Olsen too?
I think Greg Olsen's great. I'll tell you who's gotten better, and I grind my teeth when I say this.
No, I know you're going to say.
He walks on too. Is Brady?
Brady's pretty good. Yeah,
because you know why? He's not acting like he's got to stick up his ass all the
time. He's toned it down a little bit. I agree.
He toned it down in a way, but he gets more excited too. You know? And he works in it with a great partner in Burkhardt. Burkhardt's really, really good.
My father can't stand his voice. That's the thing.
Whose voice?
Brady's voice. He doesn't like Brady's voice. It's too nasally.
He's willing to learn, Brady. That's what I think is so interesting about.
Yes, totally.
And he's banned from production meetings for certain teams, which is crazy. You can't go to production.
Meetings. Well, what do you think is going to happen if Matt Ryan ever gets the Falcons job and wants to stay on CBS?
I know. No, I agree. It's crazy how that works. Like, I mean, I don't think Brady should be banned from the production meetings if he does a Raiders game. I think that's crazy.
Oh, no. It's not a Raiders game. It's the other teams.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the other teams, Steve.
All right. That makes sense.
Why? Then. Because he's an owner?
Yeah, because he's a minority owner of the Raiders. So they put parameters
everything he says, Mark Davis does. If you don't think Brady had a hand in
Pete Carroll
getting fired today.
Yeah. I know he had a hand in Pete Carroll getting hired. I know that was his guy.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
I was shocked. Yeah.
All right, boys. We've run this thing to the death.
We're good to go. We had a great look at that. Great viewership, Dave.
Yeah, really good viewership.
Yeah, very good viewership.
Wednesday with Maria back at 10:00, right?
Yes.
Games in the in Puerto Rico. We'll ask her about what she did. Talk about.
Yes. There. And then we'll talk about the Big East energy and the 5 teams we're going to get into.
Well, hey, you know what? Credit to Mark. You know, I mean, no, I'm serious. I mean, mock draft.
He didn't need to attack me though. I mean, he said I was a stupid idiot. Like
that's what he said. Actually, he actually said that you're a stupid idiot.
He said, "Stop acting stupid." Yeah. He said, "Stop acting stupid."
Well, that's different than calling you stupid. It's not a compliment. Let's get that straight. But it's not calling you a stupid idiot.
No. But that's what I felt like when he
leave that to the experts to do that.
After he asked me to get him sponsors, he says that to me. So
don't tell all the stories on the air. Say goodbye, Steve.
All right, for the icon himself, the legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia, Coach Schumann. I'm Steve Kelly, the best podcast host in the universe. This has been Husky Huddle. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back.